Okay, folks, we're going to be dividing with area models. We have learned to divide with base 10 blocks. Now we're going to use area models. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look. I've got 63 divided by 3. 63 is my dividend and 3 is my divisor. Remember how we said that we could also write it with a division house? 63 divided by 3. Well, I can use that division house to help me set up my area model. If you take a look, that division house kind of looks like the corner of this model, doesn't it? I could also kind of look at it as I could put it in a box. My 3, my divisor, is going to be on the outside, just like it is up above in my division house. And my dividend, 63, is going to go inside the box, just like it was. Okay, the next thing I need to do is come up with some friendly products, okay? I like to always personally start out with my multiples of 10. So I'm going to start with 3 times 10 equals 30. Then I'm going to go 3 times 20 equals 60. And then I'm going to do 3 times 30 equals 90. Now I could keep going, but my dividend is only 63. So that tells me, really, I'm not even going to use this one because the 90 is way too high. So let's take a look. First thing I'm going to have to ask myself is how close can I get to 63 without going over? Well, my answer is the 60, right? How did I get to that 60? I took 3 times 20. Remember that little multiplication sign and what we did up top, what we multiplied by in multiplying area models? It's the same thing. So how did I get 60? I went 3 times 20. Now let's subtract because it didn't come out even. So I have 3 left over. I'm going to take that leftover 3 and bring it up to my next area model section. Now, let's go back over to my friendly numbers. I've got to try to get to 3 without going over. None of these friendly products I came up with worked. But I do know that 3 times 1 equals 3 because I know my math facts. So that gets me right exactly on it, doesn't it? So now I have 3 here. How did I get 3? Well, I multiplied by 1. So I'm going to put that 1 up here. And I'm going to subtract. Now, I would keep doing this process all the way until whatever I get when I subtract is at least smaller than this 3. And it is smaller. So now what I have to do, I just have to take these 2 partial quotients up here, and I just got to add them together. 20 plus 1 equals 21. So 63 divided by 3, the quotient is 21. Okay, let's try another one. We have 89 divided by 4. And there we go. Okay. Remember, I can write in my division house, 89 divided by 4. My divisor goes here, my dividend in the box. Let's do our friendly numbers. 4 times 10 equals 40. 4 times 20 equals 80. 4 times 30 equals 120. That's too high. So what's the closest I can get? I can get this 80. So I'm going to put 80. How did I get to 80? Well, I took 4 times 20. 4 times 20. Now let's subtract. 9 minus 0 is 9. I bring that leftover up here to my next section. Now, my friendly numbers, the first one I came up with was 40, and that's just way too big. So I might just use my multiples of 4. I know that 4 times 1 is 4. I know that 4 times 2 equals 8. And I also know that 4 times 3 equals 12. Well, 12's too high, but 8's pretty close, isn't it? So I'm going to use that 8. How did I get to 8? I went 4 times 2. So over here I'm going to go 4 times 2. Now let's subtract. I get 9 minus 8 is 1. Bring that up, and I have 1 left over. it's too small. I can't do anything else. So you know what? This becomes my remainder. Now let's put it all back together. And when we put something together, what do? We add. So I'm going to take 20 plus 2, and I get 22, and I cannot forget my remainder. So I have 22, remainder 1. Now I'm going to jump ahead to a blank one. Whoops, let's go back. Let's say that I have 135 divided by 4. Let's take a look at that, okay? And I'm going to take that in just a bit. Okay, so 135 divided by 4. Remember that I'm going to come down here in my corner. I can also go 135 divided by 4 in my fraction house. So that tells me I need to put 4 my divisor over here. 135 goes in the house. Why don't you do that? Pause the video and write this out. Okay, now let's do our friendly products for 4. We're always going to use that dividend. So I can go 4 times 10 equals 40. 4 times 20 equals 80. 4 times 30 equals 120. 4 times 40 equals 160. Now that 160 is way higher than my dividend, so I'm not even going to use that. We're going to use this 120. Now how did I get to 120? Well, I went 4 times 30. So 4 times 30. Let's subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. Now I'm going to bring that up, and I now have 15. Now when I take a look at those friendly numbers, the ones that I came up with, those products are still too high. So let's just look at my multiples. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. That 16 is too high, so I'm going to have to go with this one. So I'm going to put my 12 down. How did I get to 12? Well, I went 4 times 3. So I'm going to go 4 times 3. Now let's subtract. 15 minus 12 is 3. If I take a look at my 3, it is smaller than my divisor, so this becomes my remainder. Now I just have to put it all back together. So 30 plus 3 is 33, and then my remainder is 3. So hopefully this helps. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck on your homework. I'm sure you've got it. You can always rewind the video and watch, and we'll work more on this tomorrow if you need some extra help. Remember, if you don't understand it, put a question mark by it. Have your parents initial it that you tried. You just couldn't understand it. And remember, that's okay. It just tells me we need to do more work.